Hello, beautiful people. We are on Unit 5, Pretest number 1. We're going to go ahead and continue with problem number 5. Again, disclaimer, we are on campus, so if you hear an intercom, I apologize. Also, if there's a loud bell, I apologize in advance. Also, I am human, so if there are any mistakes, that's okay. It probably will happen. Just let me know so we can both learn from my mistakes. All right, let's go. We are on number 5. This one here is asking us to simplify the expression. Notice how there is a subtraction, so you're subtracting two fractions. I'm going to rewrite this as adding a negative, so that way we know that we need to distribute that negative. It's going to change a few things. Also, when you are subtracting or adding fractions, you need common denominators. So what you need to do is you need to factor the denominator out. So in here, 3 obviously can't be factored, but I'm noticing this one here most likely will be. So I'm going to be able to, let's see, common GCF. Step number 1 is always GCF. Looks like I can pull out a 3 here. So I'm going to rewrite these two fractions. I have 4 divided by 3 plus negative 5r minus 6 because I am distributing that negative. And then in my denominator, I'm going to factor out that 3. So if you pull out a 3, you get 5r squared minus 26r plus 24. Let's extend that. Now again, we need common denominators. And so I'm looking and I'm already seeing a 3 in both. So I'm happy, but this still needs to be factored. So what you can do is you can go ahead and use the diamond method. If you have a guess and check method that you'd like, feel free to do that as well. I prefer the diamond method, so here's my diamond. So I'm going to multiply these two. So 5 times 24 is 120. And then I'm going to add it to equal negative 26. So two numbers multiplying to 120 that add up to negative 26. And that's going to be a negative 20 and negative 6. Now again, I'm putting that in my denominator because it will mean something in a little bit. And then my leading coefficient here, which is 5, I'm going to place in my numerator. Simplify fractions, but leave them as fractions. This one here can't be simplified. So I'm just going to erase that equals. This here can be simplified. It's going to be 1 over negative 4. So then I'm going to rewrite my fractions once again. So I have 4 over 3 plus negative 5r minus 6 divided by 3 times. Now this numerator is the coefficient of the x, and then this negative 4 is our constant. Same thing, 5 is the coefficient of x, negative 6 is our constant. So now that we've had this in factored form, we're going to ask ourselves what we need to do in order to create a common denominator. So since I'm noticing that we have 3 in both already, the only thing that I need to do is I need to multiply this fraction by x minus 4 and 5x minus 6 in order to make the fractions be have the same denominator. And so I'm going to just multiply this by x minus 4 and 5x minus 6. And whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom because we want it to stay the same. We don't want to alter our fraction's worth. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to multiply top and bottom by x minus 4 and 5x minus 6. And then we're not doing anything to the second fraction because it already has a 3 in there. So the way I like to do it is I ask myself, so what does this denominator need that this denominator has? So for example, this denominator already has a 3, but it is missing in x minus 4. It's also missing in 5x minus 6, so we're going to provide that for it. Now this denominator, we're going to ask the same thing. Hey, what does this first denominator have that this original denominator does not, the second denominator does not? Well, it has everything because the only thing we can get out of this fraction's denominator is a 3, and we already have a 3, so we're going to leave it. Okay, multiply through and see what we get. I'm going to FOIL this out. So here's the thing, you guys. Keep your denominator in factored form. Don't do anything with your denominator, but in your numerator, that's where all the work is going to happen. So in your numerator, combine like terms, multiply stuff out, FOIL it out, distribute, do everything that you need to do. So I'm going to multiply this through. It's your choice if you want to distribute that 4 first or if you'd like to multiply, FOIL it out. I'm going to choose to FOIL it out first. So I have 5x squared minus 6x minus 20x plus 24. And then this right here will be minus 5r minus 6. Again, keep your denominator the same. Do not FOIL it. Do not multiply anything out. We want it in factored form. So then I'm going to distribute my 4. Oh, and before I do that, I'm going to combine like terms. So I have negative 6x and minus 20. That's going to be negative 26x. And I do understand that my original problem was in R. I switched over here at X. So I'm going to keep it in terms of X. Once you make the switch, be consistent, and it truly doesn't matter what variable you use. If you really want to be true to the question that's being asked, you want to use R, but a variable is okay. Any of them. Any variables. Okay, so if you make the switch, keep it. Keep it switched. Okay. So then I'm going to multiply by 4, all of my terms. And so now I'm not going to multiply by negative 6. I'm going to just have negative 26x. So like here I went to an R. I want to be consistent. So that's going to be an X. And this is going to be an X. Stay consistent, people. Okay, X. Do I have any more? Yes, right over here. We're going to keep it into an X. All right. So combine like terms, multiply this out. Combine like terms. Well, let's multiply it out before combining like terms even further. All right, let's see what we have. So we have 20r squared minus, so 26 times 4, 26 times 4, I have no idea what that is, so we're going to find that out together. 26 times 4 is 104, and that's 104x. Then 24 times 4, that's 96. Then we have minus 5x, and then minus 6. That should be x. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So we have 104 here, and we have minus 5 here, and then we need to combine these two together. So again, denominator stays the same, don't do anything to it, keep it the same. So then I have 20r squared minus 109. Again, with my r's and x's, I apologize. Keep it consistent. I'm going to change it to x. This is an x. This is an x. X. And this is, what is this? Plus 90. And this is all over 3 times x minus 4, 5x minus 6. Now, if you can factor this further, if you can refactor the numerator and start simplifying, you can do that. This is your final answer on that one. All right. We're just going to leave it at number 5. If you'd like to see further questions being solved, go ahead and click on the next part. Thank you for watching. Bye.